Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisahealyourself. And today we are going to talk about the power of I am. A lot of people in spiritual circles, even religions, know the power of I am. A lot of people who are in manifestation circles are understanding the power of I am. But let's break it down into simple terms today. Let's talk about a simple way that we can harness this power, we can recognize this power, and we can see that we are truly the creators of our reality. So firstly, what is I am? I am is whatever you say you are. So I am tired. I am hungry. I am sick. I am healthy. I am confident. I am weak. Whatever follows the I am is the state that you're creating. But it's even more powerful than a state. You can say I am anything, and you can even say I am God. I am God, meaning I am all that is. I am all that is. And we know that you are all that is because everybody has their own conscious awareness. It is what you are aware of consciously. And anything that exists in your reality comes through your consciousness. So there's a tree. It's in your conscious awareness. Therefore, it's real. There's a lake. It's in my conscious awareness. Therefore, it's real. There's a war going on the other side of the world. I read about it in the newspaper. It's in my conscious awareness. Therefore, it's real. So we create reality. Whatever is real is only real to us because we've thought it, we've seen it, we've experienced it, we've heard about it, we've dreamt about it, we've imagined about it. Whatever comes through our conscious awareness is our reality, is the only reality that exists. If we do not know of its existence through an experience or a thought or even an imagination or a dream or anything, then it ceases to exist for us. And truly the only thing that we know in our reality comes through our own conscious awareness. Therefore, we are the I am. We are the creative power of the entire universe, which comes through our conscious awareness. We are the creators of all that are. And truly, since there's so many of us walking on this earth and we all have this power, we are all I ams. We are all fragments of the whole, pieces of the puzzle, so to speak, when it comes to God. All the pieces are the fragments. And if you don't like the word God, fine, change it to source, to the source of all that is. Right? This is how source knows itself, through all its fragments. It knows what it's creating through all of us. And source can only know itself through the wholeness of all that is, which is every single person and animal and living being here in the universe. Source knows itself through all that is. So we are a part of the all that is. We are the I am. We have the potential to create whatever we want through our own conscious awareness, and that is the power of I am. Now, let's talk about this in more practical ways, because that's kind of an overwhelming concept for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, but what am I supposed to do with that? How does that work in my life? You may say things like, well, I've tried saying I am this, but it's not working. I am trying to say I am healthy, I am healed, I am rich, I am this. That's what people in manifestation circles do, right? It's like you're using the I am affirmative to denounce what you're not, say what you are, and call it to you. But if there's no emotion and feeling and energy behind it, the belief that you actually believe that you are, then it cannot create, because everything that we're creating is, in a sense, only energy. It's only energy transfer, right? So are you in high vibration? Are you in low vibration? When you're saying I am healthy, are you in high vibration? Do you believe you are healthy? Are you holding yourself and taking aligned actions as if you are healthy? This is the law of assumption. And if you haven't seen my videos on manifestation and the law of assumption, go check them out because it explains it a little better. But the law of assumption says we're living from the end state of the wish fulfilled. It's like whatever our wishes, are we living from that end state? of that desired as we say it, as we imagine it, as we call it into being, as we live our life. We are the creators, but what are we creating? So if you are living in an illness vibration all the time, you're creating more illness. And everyone says, well, then that's great, but how do I get out of it? I'm trying, but I can't come up with the vibe of health when all I feel is pain, illness in the body, suffering, sickness. Like, I can't make that leap because this is all I feel. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everyone would transcend everything. Everyone would just say, oh, I'm sick, I want to be healthy, therefore I'm going to say I want to be healthy a lot, and we overcome it. Or, you're poor and you want to go to a millionaire. It would be easy to manifest if you just, didn't have to overcome something big and get in the actual state. So I know people give up because they say, I'm trying to say, like, I'm healed, I'm healthy. I'm trying to live in the state of being healthy. I'm trying to live my life in a state of health. And yet, the reality is not switching. It's very hard for me to actually feel that state because I'm riddled with symptoms or I'm riddled with pain. And so what do I do? Since the state creates it and you're having a hard time getting into that state, we don't try to force it when we're in a state that we can't feel it, because then all we're doing is in a state of forcing. We're in a state of frustration. We're in a state of trying really hard. So forcing it is not the answer, because then you're in this state of forcing, which is not the state you want to be in. So the best that we can do is when we're up against the symptoms or the suffering and we cannot get into the state of health, the best thing that you can do is let go. Let go of the attachment to that it has to be different than it is. And I know you're saying, but you just said it has to be different than it is. It has to be coming from the healthy state. No, it has to be coming from a state where you feel powerful and filled with health. And that's how you create health. But you don't get there through force. You don't get there through consistent trying and frustration and an energy of helplessness and hopelessness and, oh my God, why? I can't do this. Those are all the states you don't want to create. So better to live in the reality of what is here. Hi, I see you, and come to it with a neutral perspective. I see you symptoms. I see you suffering. I'm going to let go of my attachment to you. Let go of the meaning I'm giving to you. Like that, I'm never going to get better. Like that I'm going to have to feel this all day. Like that it's never going to go away. Like that I don't know what I'm doing. Right? Those are the things that we want to let go of, to give up on, and come to it with a more neutral perspective. So we don't want to be in the energy of forcing. So instead, we come to a neutral perspective and we begin to let go. We let go of our resistance. We let go of the trying. We let go of the forcing. We let go of the helplessness. We let go of the fear. We let go of the hopelessness. We let go of the emotion around the sensation or symptom. And we sit with it and we say, I see, it is what is. And when we let go of the energy of the trying and the forcing and the wishing it would go away and the emotion of fear and sadness behind this physical sensation, then the sensation is just what it is. Just neutral. And when we sit in a neutral state long enough with it, perhaps we get there through journaling, perhaps we get there through meditation, perhaps we just get there through breathing, perhaps we get there through distraction, perhaps we get there through any number of ways. But when we reach that state for long enough, a neutral state, a state where we're not overwhelmed emotionally by what's happening, and we're not in resistance we're not in resistance to what's actually happening, we can then build into a more positive state. We'll see the symptoms diminish when we're in neutrality long enough, because the energy isn't keeping them there. The energy isn't keeping them stuck. And when the energy of them diminishes, then naturally and more easily, we can start to feel less sensation, more of a good day. And this is when we can start to use the power of I am getting better, right? I am healthy, I am healing. And when we're starting to have better days, less symptoms, then it's easier to create a better day on top of that. And that's when we snowball into the right direction, because it's legitimately easier because the symptoms have already lessened. But they've only lessened not from the trying and not from all the frustration and the energy that we put into it, but from the actually releasing and the letting go and the non-attachment and not resisting that. And then eventually when we stay in that state, the neutral state, long enough, we actually start to see some progress. And from the progress, we can start to build into the actual feeling. We can start to access more of the feeling that we want. And then we're building into what we want. We're creating from a state of what we want. You are always manifesting, whether you want to believe it or not. Everything that you do, think, say, any action that you take, the way you're walking, the way you're interacting with people in your life, you are manifesting and you are creating, because we are I am all of the time. We have the power all of the time. We are creating, whether we want to be creating or not. We're creating whether we're trying to create or not. We are creating through our being, through our beingness. Whatever we are being, whatever state we are in, whatever thoughts and feelings and emotions are creating the state that we're in, the actions we're taking from the state we're in. And we are creating our life moment by moment without trying. Because we are all that is, because we are the I am, because we create every second that we're alive. So the first step in harnessing the I am power is when we catch ourselves, when we are in awareness that we are creating what we don't want, that we are in a lack state, that we're in a state of trying or a state of frustration or a state of sadness or a state that we don't want to be in. We relax, we let go. We try to come to a state of neutrality. We try to see it from a neutral point of view, because sitting in neutrality long enough diminishes the state that we're in until we ourselves come to a more balanced neutral state. And it is easier to begin to create and take forward momentum into a different state when we've come to the neutral state first. So that is why anytime you catch yourself in awareness, creating a state or creating an action or creating something in your life that you don't want, our first inclination is to stop, to notice, to become aware, and to let go of all resistance, to let go of what's happening, and to come to a place of neutrality. I like to do this through meditation. I think it's the easiest way. Again, any practice that gets you there or that works for you is the right one. So I know it's impossible to, catch all these negative thoughts, negative states all day and replace them with positive ones. That's a very tricky goal when you're in a when you're living in a really sick or suffering or lack-based state already, right? It's very hard to raise our energy and just replace a negative thought with a positive one. We need to catch it, become aware, and come to neutral. And that is the best any of us can do when we're really in low vibration. Rather than try to catch every negative state, rather than try to catch every negative thought, rather than try to catch every negative interaction with somebody else, or negative emotion, or negative actions that we might be taking in our life, I like to simply say this to myself many times throughout the day, as often as I can remember. What am I creating right now? By my state, by my emotions, by my actions, right? By what I'm doing, by where I am in the world. Right now, what am I creating as the I am? What am I creating as the I am? And if you can ask yourself this question many times throughout the day, what am I creating right now as the I am? You will see it. You will see that you are creating illness, or you are creating suffering, or you are creating negativity. You will see it, right? I am creating something. Or you will see that you're trying to create something good, right? What are you creating? Are you creating trying? Are you creating lack? Are you creating suffering? Are you creating illness? Are you creating health? Are you creating confidence? Are you creating helplessness? Are you creating joy? Are you creating ease? Are you creating, what are you creating? So if you can ask yourself, I am all that is. What am I creating right now? And then ask yourself, try to figure out the answer to that question. What am I creating? From the state to the emotion to what I'm doing, what am I creating in my life? Because I am always creating. And then ask yourself, what do I want to create instead? And when you know what you want to create instead of the thing that you are actually creating, simply move your actions, move your thoughts, move your emotions, move your vibration more in alignment with what you want to create. And if you need to get to neutrality first before you can start creating what it is that you want, then that's what you need to do. But you are always creating, you are always manifesting. So stopping and saying, what am I creating right now? And what would I rather be creating? What do I want to be creating? And then find a way, even if it's a small way, to change anything. Change a thought, change an emotion, change an action, change an activity, change anything, and you will make a change. You will make a change for the better. It's when we change everything all at once that we see these amazing shifts and changes. Granted, this takes practice. Start with one thing. Make any change that you can, any change that you see. The key is awareness. What am I creating right now, given that I am always manifesting and I am the creator? What is it that I am creating? Answer the question, and then, what would I rather be creating? What do I want to create instead? And then we shift. We shift in any big or small way that we can towards that. Because our awareness and our ability to shift into a new I am, into a new way of creating here in this world, shifts you, shifts your reality. And you are the only observer of your reality. So shifting your reality is your responsibility. Only you can do it. So again, if you haven't watched my videos on the law of vibration, the law of assumption, manifesting, please go ahead and watch those because they're very important. And the state we live in as the I am creator of all that is the most important thing in healing. Although many of us don't even know that within every second of every day, we have the power to create, and we are creating whether we even know it or not. So shifting our attention to and becoming aware of what it is that we are actually literally creating here in reality, because reality is a mirror. Remember, reality is a mirror. It is a reflection of everything, all your thoughts, feelings, emotions, states, experiences, actions, everything that you have taken up until now. The mirror of reality is reflecting back all of that to you. So if you want to change the mirror of reality, you have to change what you are creating in this world, and eventually the mirror will reflect back your new creation. We create that by getting into the state, and I know that's the easiest, fastest way, and I know that is the hardest way for people who are already sick, who are already suffering, who are already at such a low vibe. And that is why just letting go of the resistance of the feelings themselves and sitting in neutrality as often and as long as we can, becoming aware of what it is we're actually creating, just becoming aware and being able to get to neutral on it is a huge step in the right direction. That's going to be half of the equation. So you can at the very least, if you cannot feel this state of health, if you're in illness, you can at the very least do that. I am is a big subject, but I wanted to come on today and remind you of your power, of the only conscious creator in your reality, and that you are always creating, whether you know it, whether you want to be, whether you're trying or not. And so we, at any time in our life, any moment throughout our day, have the ability to change course, to create something new. We can ask ourselves, what am I creating right now? And what do I want to create instead? And whether you feel it or not, you can begin to create it without the feeling. You can get to a neutral place where you can begin to create things, new actions, new experiences, new emotions, new thoughts, and eventually new states will catch up. And when the new states do catch up, then it's very powerful. We don't stop, we continue, we keep going, we magnify those positive changes, we magnify those positive, new, powerful creations that we've created, and we continue, we let it expand, we let them grow. We don't say, oh, thank goodness I'm having a bit of a better day today, I can take a break. No, this is exactly when you use your power to feel the joy, the appreciation that little bit of relief has been given to you, and you build from that. You feel it, you relish in the feeling. This is when you practice the technique of the feeling. So that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.